I started writing down all sorts of ideas and just stupid sketches and everything like that, and I went around and met with EA, Activision, Ubisoft, and I put the book down and I'd be like, I want to make another billion-dollar IP.
LawBreakers launch numbers are down 60% from the beta, topping out at a total of 3,000 concurrent players.
I want to make another billion-dollar IP.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, gentle fish and all who have arrived at my congregation of gentleness. I hope you are well and your iron levels are balanced. Mini wheats, little bites. Iron levels, look at those, pretty crazy. Take a seat, for today we are remembering one of the biggest fumbles in gaming history, LawBreakers. Now, for some of you that may tickle a neuron or two, or maybe you forgot about it, but if you don't know, LawBreakers was a hero shooter featuring these wacky and zany abilities like zero gravity and other stuff, I guess. I don't really know what made it stand out. It just was like, or Overwatch, but angry. And people were like, oh, that's an idea. So yeah, think of Overwatch, but targeted for adults, or at least that's what this handsome gentleman, Belinski, had in mind. But I have a hunch that he himself had no idea who he was targeting this game for. The problem with LawBreakers was that it came out during the height of like the hero shooters, and its market was already pretty beyond saturated. It's a hard market to break into unless you're backed by a major game studio. It was pretty much destined to fail from the start, kind of like Paladins. Anyone remember Paladins? Paladins. Five Below remembers Paladins because it's like the only game they sell. But LawBreakers wasn't like Paladins in that way. It didn't die with honor. It didn't hold a unique charm, and the game in its launch just held a sour taste in people's mouth. And it's all thanks to this guy we just talked about, Belinski. Handsome gentleman. Now, I could just sit here and rip into our buddy Cliff, but I'd rather we watch as a class a perfect example of how not to launch a game by the man himself. Now, before we get into this, I'll be compiling a few of my own clips, but we're gonna be watching a compilation done by a channel called Crowbcat. They do a wonderful job of compiling footage and footnotes of gaming history, and it's just so much fun to watch. So we're gonna take a look at the rise and fall of LawBreakers and Belinski and share our thoughts with the class. Sound good? I think that sounds pretty good.
I actually don't like that idea. I think it sounds kind of lame.
I think we've kind of made the Dark Souls of competitive first-person shooters.
That's such a bold claim. That's such a douchey claim to make too.
You just didn't do the same archetypes that other shooter character-based games do, with the bow guy and then the gnome with, you know, the turret, or the classic medic with the noodle that heals people. We did our own things. I started writing down all sorts of ideas and just stupid sketches and everything like that, and I went around and met with EA, Activision, Ubisoft, and I put the book down and I'd be like, I want to make another billion-dollar IP.
And they went, they said, oh, that's a dookie idea. That's a dumb idea, Cliff. I can't get over how pompous he is. Not naming any names here, but we didn't, I really thought outside of the box, the medic with a little noodle, or, the gnome with a turret that you see in so many games. This is gonna be a common theme with Mr. Cliff here, is he despises Overwatch, and he makes it very known.
Organized insanity.
Gravity-defying combat.
This is LawBreakers right here.
Oh, that's it. That's LawBreakers. Elaborate on a storyboard, LawBreakers, for us. This the game. Well, can you explain what's going on? No further question.
At the end of a match, I was shaking because my adrenaline was pumping.
It's crazy.
Movement's fantastic. The floor is lava. It's something brand new. It's not comparable. You can't compare it to anything.
Like Overwatch, but better.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. You can't compare it to anything. It's uncomparable. Yeah, it's kind of like Overwatch.
When Overwatch announcement trailer hit, and Matt Fishman looked at the trailer and he goes, oh.
So this is an Overwatch.
Basically, Overwatch.
They're mixing the class systems of Overwatch with your more twitchy gameplay.
Yeah,
it's familiar to Overwatch.
We were being compared to other games.
Oh, you're just a Overwatch ripoff, and it's like, well, we were working on everything we knew for this game before we even saw Overwatch.
Cliff, let me elaborate something to you. It's called consumers don't care. Behind every game, yes, there are people who are passionate about their projects, and sometimes those projects fail. They they fumble and they collapse to the ground. And it's a soul-crushing thing. Anyone who has experienced failure, it sucks. Sure, I'm sure everyone at one point has pointed the blame elsewhere. But you know what? At the end of the day, as long as you can, like, just put your passion into the game or whatever you're working on, I mean, there's no guarantee you're not gonna make, like, $1 billion IP, but at the end of the day, you can go home and be like, wow, my game fumbled, but I know I did a good job, versus, wow, my game fumbled and I look like a massive bitch.
We're actually happy that there's games like that, Overwatch and Gigantic out there, so we can actually look at what they're doing and specifically say, let's not go in that direction.
LawBreakers, the upcoming game from Gears of War designer Cliff Blazinski's new studio, is no longer free to play.
$29.99, none of that $60 multiplayer only bull. $29.99.
Okay.
It's none of that $60 multiplayer only bull.
$29.99, none of that $60 multiplayer only bull.
$29.99, none of that $60 multiplayer only bull.
You also recently announced that the game's coming to PlayStation 4.
Because I hate Xbox.
PS4,
yep.
PC, but no Xbox, right?
Yeah, and those Xbox fanboys are pretty salty.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, they supported you for a long time.
This was not a situation of I don't like Xbox, because I hate Xbox. I get you have feelings, that's cool, but this is a business.
What Cliff is doing here is he's trying to act like the Andrew Tate of gaming. He's trying to say cool, edgy things to really catch you off guard. He's like, $39.99. No, that multiplayer only bullshit. Oh, well, he dropped a curse word at a gaming expo. Whoa, Cliff, slow down there. This is a PG area. Whoa, you say words like that, you're really gonna catch some eyes. You're gonna show everyone that you're a big boy. You don't mess around in the sandbox. Also, I love how he follows up and he's like, well, I hate Xbox. And he's like, you know, a lot of people think that I hate Xbox. It's almost like, I wonder where they could have got that assumption. I really wonder where that wild idea came from. Also, yeah, to come out and be like, I hate Xbox, immediately sour taste in anyone who chose to play Xbox. I don't know if it's still like a relevant thing. I'm sure it is to like very niche people, but more or less it has died out to be a joke. But I remember like that was important maybe in middle school, being like, are you an Xbox or are you a PS4 guy? And you'd have all the Giga Chads, you'd be like, it's about the PC Master Race. It was like a heated thing, you know? It was like the 3 tribes. And then you had the one kid who ate glue and played Nintendo, and that was me. So for you to be a grown man dropping like, yeah, I hate Xbox, like, yay, cool. And then this guy right here drops a mad fact. He's like, yeah, the Xbox boys are pretty salty. Well, yeah, because they supported you.
I think it's the best FPS game I've played in a long time, man.
Super addicting. It's a blast.
Awesome. It's grudge match time.
Ready defense, LawBreakers like, yes, there is. Stop it in his tracks.
Everybody always asks, is this game going to be an esport? You going to be an esport? And like, I tweeted like, you know, E3 hadn't even started yet, and I wanted to stab somebody who says that word.
We are here with the LawBreakers Best of Gamescom Community Tournament.
We want to be more like a Rocket League or Warframe.
So this is something I don't really understand why he's so mad about. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I really don't understand, but they ask him, is this gonna be an esport? He's like, I just want to do, or someone who says that to me. I don't get it. That'd be such like a flattering question to me. Esports are like a really big thing, and it's like great brand recognition because the game kind of goes beyond itself. You know, there's a lot of games I don't actively play that every now and then I'll take a little peeksies into the tournament because I'm like, wow, that's pretty competitive, and it looks like, you know, there's some sweat going down. It makes me very fortunate that I have a backyard with grass, and it's fun to watch. That's really cool. So I don't see why if someone's like, hey dude, can you see your game becoming like an esport? Can you see like people really getting into a competitive thing? When you're trying to develop a competitive game, you yourself say it's a competitive game, and then you backtrack on that and you're like, oh, I kind of want to be like the Rocket League of FPS. It's like, what does that even mean? What does that mean? I want to be like the soccer car game of FPSs. You catch my drift? Let the actions speak louder than the words. It's annoying.
How are you kind of communicating to your community that your game is different than something like Overwatch or Team Fortress? How can you convince a group of people not to just immediately group it and saying, this one is by a different company, I want to pick that one over yours, not even give yours a chance?
I think the marketing is going to be a big part of it. I played Overwatch, it's absolutely fantastic, Blizzard can do no wrong, but I think one of the main things that's going to make us stand out is our tone. The fact that we're kind of a mature rated game, or kind of more of an adult one. Our world is less saturated, it's not fully day-glow like a lot of those characters. And a lot of those games, as great as they look like they're for a younger crowd. Whimsical characters instead of, you know, ones that I find aspirational that are a little bit more Quentin Tarantino.
Oh yeah, Quentin Tarantino vibe. Angry blue man, lady with saber. Again, this is where he's just tripping himself up. You had a great lunch, or like a great beta testing. Everyone who showed up was like, this was a blast. This was a lot of fun. Hell, you got people cosplaying for a game that hasn't even come out. And when people walk up and hand you the mic and like,
Mr. Cliff Belinski, what can you say about your brand new video game coming out?
and you immediately start ragging on Overwatch. Enjoy what you have. Enjoy what you got. You had a successful time and you're still bent up over Overwatch. Yeah, it's a good game, but I think it's aimed towards kids because it's too colorful and too childlike. Yeah, so is World of Warcraft, and that game is a success beyond belief. So is Diablo 3. You got some comical, goofy looking characters around, yet it still has a massive audience ranging from any sort of age. I could comfortably hop on a game of Overwatch with like a little cousin or like an older friend of mine in like his late 20s, and it still feel the exact same. Like, we're just playing a game, we're all having a good time, which is the fundamental purpose of making a game.
The fastest speed I've ever seen in my life.
Every single chance I get to play, I play. Competitively, this game is perfect.
The gameplay is perfect. It feels just right. There's not a single complaint. 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10.
This game won me over. I'll play this all day.
We're finally getting a lot of hype for the game, where I'm starting to see people with the Deadzo logo walking around the show floor. We have that great banner outside, and the end is near, but it's really the beginning.
Oh, Cliff. Oh, poor Cliff. You had it right when you said the end is near.
TechCruncher Get Hype reports that LawBreakers launch numbers are down 60% from the beta, topping out at a total of 3,000 concurrent players. Those numbers are even worse than last year's Battleborn at launch.
LawBreakers has unique mechanics, but because the market has been saturated with games like LawBreakers over the last year, it's a much harder sell.
God, that is tragic. 67 max viewers on Twitch. So yeah, the game fumbled. It ate its own ass and then went home and cried. The reason for it is just so many games had come out just like it. However, I believe the biggest downfall that really prevented this game from having any sort of chance was the man who conceptualized LawBreakers himself, Cliff Belinski. From being a douchebag to switching from free to play, from switching to, we're going, you know, just PlayStation and PC, to then switching to just launching on PC to begin with, and then turning around and saying tough shit's a business model. You didn't stand a chance. No one wants that. This game was essentially the kid who bullies everyone at school, and then they wonder why no one shows up to their birthday party. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate you coming by Storytime. Again, check out Crowbcat, as they did an amazing job compiling all those clips, and I love that channel so much. So again, thank you for joining. This was a fun little reading circle, and until next time, I'll catch you in the next one. Farewell, my friends.